Are you faking it? Do you know other people who like to fake it? When we're talking about gratitude, talking about making those gratitude lists, we go through the actions, we write the lists every morning or at night, but we really just don't feel it. We're kind of faking it. Well, today we're going to talk about how to get past that feeling of just faking it and really get it embedded inside of our minds and in our hearts. We're going to talk about the neural pathways and the important things that gratitude does inside of our brain to help us rewire our brain to be programmed to feel gratitude and to keep feeling it. So that way we're not being fake when we're trying to add gratitude into our lives. Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the forest. I'm glad y'all are here. It's November, and I love November because it's all about giving thanks. We're going to be talking a lot about Thanksgiving ideas this month and how we can give thanks in different ways that gratitude impacts our lives, because there's so many ways that our lives can get better, but it's about developing a practice, and so that's what we're going to be talking about today. When we talk about gratitude and the impact it has on our brains. I mean, first of all, just the main thing when we talk about what it does is it releases dopamine. It helps us feel good when we actually experience real gratitude. And then it kind of, there's that amygdala, that cortisone part of our brain where, we release, the amygdala releases the amygdala releases cortisone, and it just gets us all hyper. And so when we practice gratitude, we kind of silence that part of our brain and we're not producing so much cortisol, and we can kind of relax. But then how do we get there? That's the question. So we're going to be talking about two main practices today that I think really help a lot. And the first part is journaling. Now, I know in the beginning I said, a lot of people fake that, you know, three list things, write down three things that we're grateful for. And a lot of times people kind of fake that. I know I do. And I'm writing, I was like, I'm writing this stuff, but I really don't feel very grateful. And this practice that I've learned is that, especially at night, it's helpful. I kind of think about one of the things that's bothered me most during the day. And then I kind of put that thought aside. I let that stress kind of go to the side for a moment. And then I think about three situations that happened that day that I can be grateful for. Now, I do write those down. But the difference is we aren't just writing them down and acknowledging them. What I want you to do, and I challenge you to do it, I do it, is take like 5 minutes and then just sit there and really feel into the gratitude. That is where the change happens inside of our brains. When we feel into that gratitude, whether it's, let's say today, last night, a neighbor gave me some fish that I made for dinner. So I got this free fish. Uh, I can write that down, but not just think about, oh, I'm thankful I got free fish, but I think about the joy I felt getting it, how good it felt to cook it, how fun it was to prepare it, how fun it was to eat it. And when you have those moments where you're not just writing it down, but you're feeling into it, that is when your brain starts to get rewired and it starts to feel that gratitude. And you can think about your gratitude practice like going to the gym. It's not something that we can do every once in a while and expect to see results. So I encourage you to do that every single day. And it's like building up muscles in the gym. That's why I like first having that thought of something that's stressing me out. And then I switch immediately to the three things that made me feel good and really focus on those. And then kind of go back and forth, and doing it every day. That is when we build up resilience against these negative feelings and these emotions. And when the bad things happen, we start to automatically go towards the good, looking for the positive in the bad situations. That's one of the biggest things, is finding that silver lining. Okay, this bad thing happened. Well, what was the lesson I'm going to learn from it? So many positive things that we can learn, but we got to practice. We got to practice it every single day. So I encourage you all to do that. Try to do it for at least 30 days. They say it takes about 30 days to develop a new habit. So try to do that for at least 30 days. And then the other thing that science has shown when it comes to really changing our brains for gratitude, it isn't just ourselves feeling the gratitude, but seeing other people express gratitude. So how does that happen? Well, I think it happens when we give gratitude ourselves. And so I encourage you this week and every week for the next few weeks, think about someone you can be grateful for. Think about how you can either send them a text, send them an email, say something to them on Facebook, Instagram, leave a little comment on one of their pages. If they have a post about something they cooked, wow, you did a really great job. Think about how many times you can give out gratitude. Because what you'll find is often the gratitude comes back to you. People will start thanking you for things. You're creating an environment where people around you are expressing more gratitude as well. And so you're going to start to see gratitude all over the place. And that also helps build up that gratitude inside of our brains and rewires our brains to see gratitude, feel gratitude, receive gratitude, and then we just start feeling better. Everything just gets better when we're doing that. So I encourage you to do that as well. And as we're seeing that gratitude, again, that amygdala isn't releasing so much cortisol, and we can finally just kind of relax. It really has a big impact on our lives. And so I want you all to think about that. I'm glad that you all are here with me today. We have a lot to talk about this month with it being November, lots of gratitude to talk about. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned also for November 11th. That'll be my 1-year anniversary of my near fatal medical emergency. So I definitely I want to do a special video on that, just kind of talking more about what happened and how grateful I am today. It's a good month to do that. So keep that in mind. And if you want to take this a little bit further, if you want to really make sure that you're practicing these principles, I've created a journal on my ko-fi.com page. I'll just link that to the description here of this video. That way you can check that out. It's actually a whole month journal. So that way you can practice every single day, writing down these 3 scenarios that you see and really feeling into them. But then there's also a weekly recap as well. So that way at the end of those 30 days, you have a whole journal documenting where you started, what you went through, and then how you feel at the end. And that's perfect because I'll be around Thanksgiving times. Perfect time. So check that out. So again, thank you all for being here with me today. Please stay grateful. Please stay kind. And as always, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.